Hey, Michael here, out in the woods. Nice, beautiful Houston day, except mosquitoes are wanting to feed on me. But April 23rd, 2018, I don't know, 60, 65 degrees out here. Must be more like 65. Clear day, beautiful. Hope you got the same or got the same soon. But I want to talk about what's possible to us a little bit. Now, you've seen some of my videos. I can do a bit. Yeah, there's a hell of a lot more I could do. Could up my game a lot. Some people can do more than I'll ever be able to do. Very amazing, talented movers. Very agile, mobile, strong. Can do a lot. Got good stuff going. But I've upped my game a lot, as you can tell. But when I was younger, I don't know for sure, but I must have had something neurological going. Sorry, mosquitoes. Had something neurological going, maybe autistic spectrum or something or other like that. Didn't really get the social thing too much. Not like I just totally kept to myself or didn't have friends, but just couldn't develop socially as other people did. Usually just kind of kept to myself, sat in the back of the class. Not too coordinated. Poor balance. Couldn't do like the balance beam like in 4th grade or something. And 4th or 5th grade, most other people couldn't carry an eraser on my head for good balance that some other people could. Partly didn't try, but didn't think I could. That feedback loop. Can't do it. Bad attitude. Can't do it. Bad attitude. Can't do it. Bad attitude. A feedback loop. But so yeah, I did some sports, played soccer, but was not being too coordinated. Sorry, mosquito again. Not being too coordinated. I had to play more rough to get along, instead of using more technique and skill. Could kind of keep going and going, but just didn't have that finesse. Just didn't seem capable of getting it neurologically. Didn't really lift weights much, did a little bit, but didn't hit it hard. Didn't really do much technique stuff. Just kind of brute, stupid, medium strength, nothing hardcore. That's in general, not just weightlifting. Then quit exercising in college. Got stupid to squat and spent 20 years being very, very, very sleep deprived and eating poorly or not eating enough. Stupid to squat, kind of trying to be like, not trying to be, but ending up kind of being like some starving monks in a monastery. Not sleeping enough, not eating enough, just not living as a human being should. Then, thankfully, saved by philosophy and logic and liking math and science, started getting into nutrition and how to eat right. When I found something on Art Devaney's website about how he eats, evolutionary diet, had a full, systematic, integrated, inductive explanation of why he eats the way he does. It was really good. Then started getting into paleo and all that. Paleo, not some stupid straw man made up nonsense that some people think is paleo so they can attack it, or that some people who can't think very well think is paleo. Paleo, I like to call it that because it connects us with our evolutionary roots. And it has a broad scope of evidence behind it all over the globe, all through history, which most other diets don't. Very integrated, all different peoples in all different lands, see what they do, really see how we eat and put it in context of evolution and other animals. 'Cause if you look it up, the things you think are cute little herbivores, deer, well, wrong, they eat birds. Look it up. Like on the island of Rum, there's some red deer, I think it is, that eat baby birds. Look it up on National Geographic's website. You can find videos of deer eating baby birds, horses eating birds and chickens, a deer nibbling on a rabbit, cows eating chickens and all that. And you look at, if you think they're like cute little squirrels, oh, they eat acorns or whatever, well, wrong. They eat like baby birds and stuff like that. Look it up. So, because we're very ignorant about biology, people in general nowadays in America, we're divorced from it in our little society, don't know what's going on, not entirely our fault, but there are certain factors going on. So we're, as a result, whatever the case may be, whatever the cause, we are ignorant of a lot of biology and ecology. So by the way, I recommend you really dig into that, learn some tracking, some foraging, some botany, some zoology, ecology, read widely. We are living organisms, so biology is more important to us than anything else, and everything is to be filtered through that or judged by that. Physics is not final. Chemistry is not final. They are in the world. Physics is fundamental to biology, but insofar as us making any decisions or thinking anything or doing anything, no. Biology is fundamental. So, just wanted to throw that in. But I started learning more about that in the last few years. And that came from exercising outdoors more. And that is something I came across through learning about more paleo. Paleo, the lifestyle. How should we live as a human being? Let's look at all the available evidence and not just put blinders on ourselves or jump to conclusions by looking only at Americans in current contemporary America, just Americans that we're familiar with. No, that's illogical. That's jumping to conclusions. That's not scientific. That's not rational. That's not the way to form a valid conclusion. We need to look at all evidence of human beings and see how we should survive. What does it take to live a human life? And that's what I started doing a few years ago. But back to the paleo, getting in that improved my health and my cognition a lot. Just made a big jump in my attitude, how well I could think, my self-control, my ability to retain information, my health, don't get sick as much anymore. Dental health was better, just all kinds of things like that. Just the entire spectrum. Because if we get the nutrients we need, then of course we'll be healthy. If we're lacking those, as with lacking vitamin C, you get scurvy. If we're lacking some, then we have disease and illness. Or our immune system is weak, or our brain doesn't have enough information to retain memories and to form synapses and everything. So nutrition is important. But getting into nutrition, then started learning about exercise and sleep and being outside in the electromagnetic fields. So, Kurt Parsley and some professors who study sleep have helped a lot. MoveNet's helped a lot. CrossFit, Dr. Jack Cruz with what he says about light, and EMF. It's really helped my game a lot. I wouldn't recommend you do all that at one time. Start slow, get diet and sleep dialed in. Start working on lifestyle factors and exercise. Get some of that going. And all the while, make sure you're getting outside a little more. That'll help. But I have been doing that, and all of that has helped me go from being just a doofus. Hell, I used to even when I was maybe in my 30s or something, I'd freaking fall over putting on my damn pants. I didn't have good balance, partly some neurological thing going on and partly the sleep deprivation, those two factors. And then of course, a diet that's not proper to a human being doesn't give you the nutrients you need to develop your neurological system to function correctly. So I had that fundamentals going, those things set the context of sleep, diet, so that when I would exercise, I could retain what I learned, but I would start doing the MoveNet thing, going out in the woods, started going barefoot, jogging, learning to do a roll, like a somersault on the ground, rolling on the ground, and then from 2 hands and a foot, 2 feet and a hand, and then standing still and going down and rolling, then jumping a little bit, landing on the feet and rolling, then adding height to it slowly, flipping logs, carrying logs on my shoulder, carrying logs on my lap against my chest, squatting logs, throwing pieces of concrete, climbing trees, crawling, so-called bear crawl, so-called crab crawl, soldier crawl, just doing all this different stuff slowly through the years, doing smart progressions. And then I didn't start this until I was like, let's see, go back 18, 10, maybe 8 years ago, 8, 10, something like that. So in 8 to 10 years, okay, and before that I went to the gym. I'd go work out at 24 Hour Fitness, did that for, I don't know, 5 or 10 years. So that was in between there. So soccer, some running, did nothing for a while, maybe did some running, little weightlifting, light stuff at home, and then after a while I did some lifting at 24 Hour Fitness, and then started doing this MovNat thing, exercising outdoors. So, you know, I didn't start it until, I don't know, 42, 45, something like that. And now, yeah, oh, and a cartwheel. I don't think I could have, I couldn't have done a cartwheel when I was younger. You know, maybe with training, get some really good coach, but didn't have that, so I couldn't do it. So, needed the cartwheel, couldn't do that, now I can do that. All these flips, can jump from 8 to 10 feet off a log, land and roll safely. Haven't done it in a while because I say my knee injuries. Been working smart to get things back, but it's just a matter of being smart, following good logical progressions, developing strength and technique together, and doing as Coach Summer says, the gymnastics coach. He's been an Olympic coach. You got to think about your neurological system, your brain, and your ligaments and tendons. Get that structure set and the muscle on that, then start adding muscle on. You have to have a solid foundation before you can build your house or add in furniture and everything else. So that's a good way to think about it. Get the basics, then develop. Don't try to get muscle ignoring ligament, tendon, bone, and nervous system and brain. Focus on those things first, then develop the muscle on top of it. So you're developing the muscle on a good foundation and developing it smart. And hell, if I can do this stuff and do more, then you can too. Even pretty much have a level 1 MovNat certification now. Got one more thing to do. Got to make a video of this balance test and send it in. That's one thing I failed on the recent certification I had. No excuses though, I should have been able to do it. But if you just, you know, have confidence in yourself, take things smart, be in it for the long term, you know, you can do the stuff I'm doing and more too. Hope that helps. If you have any comments or questions or anything, leave comments below. Hope this inspires you or convinces you to get out and do things on your own more. If I can recover from the problems I had with sleep deprivation and neurological stuff, autism or whatever, and having all these injuries and still come back, and even like one I didn't mention in 2000, 2002, even hurt a medial meniscus, and I could feel that catching in a knee, and I don't feel that anymore. But had that and all these other injuries, had some other injuries to recover from. So if I can do that, then you could do that and more. But again, I hope inspires you to do more. Get out, really make the most of yourself, because this helps your mind and body. Complex movement requires complex cognition. And what does that do? Of course, it helps you think better, have a better attitude, be more confident in the world. When you can do stuff like this, then everyday life is so much more easy. So again, hope it inspires you. Comments or questions, leave them below. Thanks.